I totally apologize. I do not know what's going on, but this is the third time this video has just cut off just like that. It just cuts out. My full battery, I don't know why this is happening. Anyway, I forget where I was at, but I'm going to go back to, March 31st. And I apologize if I'm repeating myself. March 31st, the house is supposed to be up for sale. It was not. Ex-spouse is in contempt. Number 2, he did not make payments February, March, April, May, June, July, and did not pay taxes. And it is now January 2020. So now we have August, September, October, November, December, and we're into January. So it's almost an extra year. So what that means is now I'm responsible for these payments. I'm not living in the house, but I'm responsible for these payments, or shared responsibility for these payments that haven't been paid on the mortgage. So this has been premeditated, pre-planned, because they want to make sure I owe money when I come out of the sale of this house. So we wouldn't be in this position if the alienator was held accountable and he did his part and was supposed to do what he was supposed to do. He had 8 years to plan to, he knew when our last son was graduating that he'd had to have the house up for sale and, ready to go. Cleaned out, it's all ready for sale. No, he waits till last minute. And he literally packed up, had people pack him up in a pod, took everything, and went out of state. Here's the other thing. This is how premeditated this was. Last December, he bought a house in Sarasota, Florida, Bradenton. I'm not sure, it's always, different names, whatever, for $600,000 in Florida. Doesn't pay his taxes. IRS doesn't take the money from him before he buys the house. How is that? How is that? So either, my thoughts are, he never had payments or liens and he just made it up for the divorce so he didn't have to pay me anything, or he actually has this and he knows someone because his lawyer, her husband, worked for the IRS for 15 years. They always came to court with false documentation from the IRS. And I flagged them on it all the time. Every time they came into court, it would say resolution copy, not a copy from the IRS. They would even bring in stamped checks saying that he paid, and this is what he negotiated and this is what he paid. So, and I just found out in 2019, I was not supposed to be held responsible for him not paying his own personal taxes, his own business taxes, but somehow I got stuck with almost $1 million in federal tax liens in my name. It's been resolved. He was able to pay for it, but he has no money, but he was able to pay for it back in 2011. So it destroyed my credit. So this is what they do. You got to watch your credit daily, because they're always putting things in your name. They're always using your social security number. They're always forging your name. And you can't do anything about it. When someone has money and power, or they have their little networking group, and they're never held accountable by the county or the judge. I was even thrown in jail. I was thrown in jail falsely for being on my own property. Nobody does anything. The cops dismissed it, though, because they know they were guilty, because there was no probable cause. So this is, I'm just naming things that go on that are not normal, that people don't see. All they see is the alienator. Oh, they are such a good person. They're paying for college. They've done everything. No. Behind the scenes, it's more than obnoxious. It is ungodly. To the point of, they do all this stuff about bullying in school. What about parents bullying the child? What about parents bullying the other parent to death to the point of suicide? And then they just sit there and put a label on that person going, oh, see, I told you, your father was crazy. He committed suicide. He never had mental problems. The problem was maybe that father was married to a narcissist and was bullied and was tired of being beaten down. Because that's the reality in these situations. So going back to this divorce decree, right now I am being bullied by the realtors. I am being bullied by my lawyer to sign a document that I don't even have HUD numbers. I don't have a pro forma closing statement that you get in settlement. And they tried to slip in a document that my lawyer would be power of attorney for me, even though I told them it come hell or high water, I will drive 24 hours to make this closing. There's no way I'm going to miss this settlement. I want to look at these buyers eye to eye because I know everything has been premeditated. Everything. And I also want to ask a question, and hopefully you guys can respond. I won't say the name of the realtor right now, but I will later. But the realtor company also partners with my ex in business. Okay? They're partners. Also, the realtor, the agent, is now my ex-spouse's power of attorney. And apparently I was told you could pick any drunk on the side of the road and they can be your power of attorney. Exact words. Then on top of that, if the realtors are for you and trying to do the best for the sellers, then why would a realtor tell me that I'm going to be sued and that he's doing research on how I can be sued? Not my ex, me, because I'm at fault. I'm at fault because I won't agree to going into settlement without knowing numbers, without having the information on paper, and I'm not going to sign something where I'm going to be held responsible for my ex's taxes and paying all these fees that he created. So I want people to please respond and tell me your thoughts, because I have the realtors texting me. I have the lawyers calling me. They'll text me all through the night. And I finally wrote them a letter basically telling them why. I think my exact words were, after careful review of all documents contained in the deed package, I am obliged to withdraw from the closing settlement scheduled for January 14th, 2020. And then I elaborate on the seller's mortgage affidavit. I'm basically telling them to stick to the divorce decree. My ex-spouse is not following the divorce decree, and I'm the one in trouble here. So, in other words, the closing documents are asking me to make and accept a post-decree modification of divorce and property settlement agreement, which I'm not willing to do. Furthermore, that can only be done by petitioning the courts, Montgomery County Court in Pennsylvania, for the change, and not by closing the document. As an additional matter for consideration, I already went through this. I currently have recourse to file a petition in Montgomery County Court for my ex's non-compliance with the court order dated on June 18th, 2015, and it clearly states his obligations, which I read to you earlier. I'm not going to read them to him again. Also, never received a pro forma closing statement. And basically at the bottom of this letter, I wrote, should my ex resolve all of this, the affirmation, that he resolves all these issues I just listed and provides proof that he is in compliance with the terms of the divorce decree and that no encumbrances exist on the property, that I would be gladly to take steps to expedite the closing. But I want to see proof from the IRS. Think about this. How does one get away from not paying the IRS millions of dollars, right? He paid off almost $1 million. It was like $900,000 right away back in 2011. But somehow he holds up this $41,000 and they're going to tie it to the house. Why isn't he responsible? And how can he buy another house without paying those taxes? Can somebody please respond to this video and let me know? Because my lawyers and the realtors are hounding me, bullying me, and making me feel guilty that this is all my fault. Please respond to this video in the comment section. Please, send this video out, like it, share it on Facebook, share it on YouTube, because I have had nothing but criminal activities since the minute I asked for divorce. And I'll list them for you. And it's happening in all our divorces. It's not just, mine. So it's extortion. If you're stuck to child support, it's extortion. Money laundering, racketeering, RICO, tax fraud, tax evasion. I mean, I could list forgery, perjury, harassment, soul murdering. I mean, they've taken my kids and brainwashed my kids. I could go on and on and on. So this is not you. You are not crazy. And please, please do not commit suicide, because this gives them more power and they just wash it away. And now your children believe that you were the crazy one. So please, even though they're bullying you to death, they are bullying you. Stay alive, stay strong, and fight this battle. Fight it. Okay. Always choose love over hate, compassion over judgment, and please like and share this video. Subscribe to our channel. I need to get responses because I'm going to hand these back to the realtors. I'm going to hand everything back, and if we can all hold these people accountable, because there's about 500 people in Montgomery County right now that are going through the same thing. Everyone, these judges get 30 to 40 mortgages a year to work on. They force you into foreclosure and steal your home for an incentive. I could go on and on and on about the theft of our system, about these criminals. So please, please respond. All right. God bless and have a good day.